In this video, we will be looking at a brief introduction to one of the most important factors in a business's success or failure, the marketing mix. We will look in depth at each of these elements in separate videos, but before you do this, it is important to have a general understanding of the concept, where it came from, what it is, and how it can be used to defeat your competition. The term marketing mix first became popular back in 1946 by a business writer named Neil Borden, who was discussing the concept of marketing. What he was trying to do was break down a complex topic which involved advertising, packaging and pricing into smaller, manageable concepts. His winning combination remains the same today and is used by marketers across the globe. Successfully marketing your product or service is very similar to planning a battle in the competitive world of business. Marketing doesn't just happen. You need to think everything through carefully and come up with a great strategy. Understanding the marketing mix will help you do this. Before we look in more detail at this topic, let's introduce this video's main example. This is Lara Hapgood, and she is the founder of Summerby Wines Limited. Back in April 2016, she planted 17,000 vines on an 11-acre field on her father's farm. While the field had proved difficult for growing usual crops, its south-facing slopes and good drainage made it a great choice for growing vines. 3 years later, she is now ready to begin the complex process of bringing her product to the market to sell to consumers. To do this, Lara will have to carefully consider each element of the marketing mix to achieve a successful and competitive launch. To all the teachers out there, show all of these videos without any ads and gain access to our growing library of over 500 teaching worksheets. Why not visit BizzWizard.co.uk to find out more? So let's look in a little more detail at exactly what it is and the different elements within it. The marketing mix is a tool which describes in detail the actions that Lara will need to take when introducing her wine to the market. The idea is Lara can make decisions that manipulate the market into generating positive results and increasing sales. Understanding the mix, together with the correct implementation, increases the odds of her success. The marketing mix is made up of 4 individual elements, all begin with the letter P, and therefore are known across the business world as the 4 Ps. They are product, place, price and promotion. Lara may need to concentrate more on certain aspects of her mix and how the target market will respond to each one, but she must consider them all. Let's first take a look at product. If you hope to be successful, you will need to know everything there is to know about what you sell. You will need to know its product features, how it should appear, including sizes and colours, and most importantly, exactly what its purpose is and how it satisfies customer needs. To ensure she is in the best position to launch Summerby Wines, Lara has spent the last couple of years learning everything she can about her product and the industry she hopes to break into. She has attended many wine tasting events and has mingled with some of the most knowledgeable experts on the topic. Even with the greatest product, you will still need to think carefully about your brand. There is an important difference between a brand name and a brand. Your brand name is just what you have chosen to call your product or service, in this example, Summerby Wines. So what is a brand? Put simply, your brand is what your customers think of when they hear your brand name. It's everything your customers think they know about your product, including factual things like it's a dark blue bottle with a red label, and emotional things like this is a romantic bottle of wine. Your brand name is always exactly what you say it is, but your brand only exists in the customer's mind, and it's your job to create this. Once you have settled on how you wish your brand to be perceived, you need to think carefully about how it compares, and sometimes more importantly how it differs from your competitors. It will also be important to consider your product itself, and how this compares, or again differs, to increase your chance of success. What impact are you hoping your brand will have on your customers? In our example, Lara hopes to develop a brand that her customers perceive as good value for money, a fantastic taste, and unlike any other. Finally, when considering the product element of the marketing mix, bring this video and over 100 more to life with fun, interactive games, quizzes, and case studies. why not try the first 25 completely free by visiting BizzWizard.co.uk. You should consider whether you hope to offer an invention, something which has never existed before, or an innovation, an improvement on an existing product or service. Both can be successful, but careful market research will be required before setting out to achieve either. Once you have carefully considered your product, it is time to think about the next of our 4 Ps, which is place. This is of course where customers will be able to purchase your goods and engage with your service, but also involves how your goods will get to them. This is a vital part of your marketing, because if customers have difficulty accessing your product, this can have significant effect on your sales. Here you will need to carefully consider the type of shops you want the product to be in. For example, Lara hopes to have Summerby wines available through many different distribution channels, meaning the ways the wine gets to her customers. She plans to have her bottles available in major supermarkets, smaller independent wine merchants, and also through her own website. By providing a number of options for her customers to purchase the wine, she hopes to make it as easy as possible for them to make a purchase. Each of the video courses over at BizzWizard.co.uk also includes an interactive business case study that applies the knowledge learned to a real-world scenario. There are over 1,000 multiple-choice questions, each with detailed feedback, which tests students' understanding of the content. Why not visit BizzWizard.co.uk to find out more? She will now have to consider price, the third of our 4 Ps. Here she will need to decide exactly how much customers will pay for a bottle. It will be important for Lara not just to focus on making as much money as possible, and instead to think carefully about the impact her price will have on the consumer. As we have discussed, she wants customers to consider her brand as good value for money, and to do this she will need to first establish the price she hopes to charge, and then compare this with competitors' prices. This will allow her to adjust her price if necessary to improve the perceived product value to the customer. There are a number of different strategies a business like Lara can consider when pricing their product, and we will look at each of these in other videos. It will also be important for her to consider here if she plans on running any promotional discounts when launching the product. The final P Lara needs to carefully consider is promotion. Even if Lara is able to perfectly develop each of the other elements within the mix, she must also ensure that her product is received well by the target market. She will need to think about how to advertise her product to consumers. She has many options to choose from when it comes to advertising, including TV, newspapers, social media and magazines. But just as importantly, how will these adverts look and be perceived by the consumer? She may also want to consider the best time to launch her brand. There may be better times of the year, such as Christmas, when she is likely to have more success. Within the promotion element, she will also want to carefully examine the promotional activities of her competitors to give her business a chance of competing. If Lara is able to consider each of these important elements of the marketing mix, it will be instrumental in the success of Summerby wines when launching to the market. Even after launch and potential success, Lara should always reassess her marketing mix to ensure it stays ahead of changes in customer taste. Whenever possible, she should imagine herself as one of her customers, and how she would think about each of these elements if she was them. If she is able to do this, Summerby wines will have the potential to go on to be a major player in her market, and she can achieve her dream of being a successful entrepreneur. This has been the BizzWizard. See you in the next video.